Affordable housing does not exist in economic nature. It comes into being only as a result of conscious political choice and wise government policy and program development. Markets, the nature of markets is to match consumption to ability to consume. The absolute most fundamental level, a community decides who will live there by two things: zoning and real estate taxes. A community that refuses to zone for some amount of higher density, either elderly or family housing, in effect says, we don't want those people living in our community. And so you can choose the 2-hour commute, or the single-room occupancy apartment, or the under-maintained, deteriorating shell. None of those are societally acceptable in a large, interdependent, urbanizing environment. And therefore, if you don't like that outcome, you have to change the economics. By definition, a quarter of the population is going to lag economically. And that quarter will not be able to afford market quality housing, period, full stop. The question is, do you do something about it, and if so, what? If you look at the price of housing consists essentially of three things. Number one, the cost of operations, utilities, maintenance, and stuff. Number two, the cost of construction. And number three, the price of land. Land used to grow human beings as opposed to crops doesn't have any intrinsic value. The value of land is the residue of what people could afford to pay for housing minus those two previous costs. And so what happens, and this is the first thing that governments have to understand, is that in any urban or urbanizing environment, the price of land rises to precisely the point where it supports market housing, which means it leaves behind the creation of affordable housing. If you want to have a society in which people at all levels can live and work and cohabit together, then it is imperative that as a society, the government dedicates a portion of the wealth that is created in this country back to the issue of housing affordability. And whether you choose to justify that because it's the right thing to do or because it's in the long-term interest of the country, it is something that needs to be done.